All right, all right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can sit down now. It's okay. All right, welcome to OnSet. I am Daniel. My mic's up, right? I am Daniel Norton. I'm here with Erica today.
Hi.
Seth's in the front row. You know, he's been demoted or promoted, depending on how you want to look at it. We have a brand new switcher over here. Joe's on the switcher. All right. I've already told him not so many shots at the top of my head. You know. Anyways, today we're going to talk about beauty photography on a budget. So we're going to delve into some other stuff, right? Normally we come out here, we're like, oh yeah, beauty dishes and 4-foot octaves and all this other stuff. But what is the core of making a beauty shot, whether it be a beauty portrait or beauty for a campaign, right? Popular term, right? So what is it, right? What makes something a beauty shot versus just a kind of pretty picture? What are we doing here? So let's dig into it. We're going to use some gear provided to me by Flashpoint, which is our house brand. So good, they go down Flashpoint. If you guys are good, in the end, we're going to use this. It's just going to sit there for now. Watch this flash. Watch this. See that? Came right off. I didn't break it, I don't think. We're going to use that. But we're going to start off using some stuff more traditionally off camera. You know, one of the things we want to do with the beauty shot is obviously shape the face, show the skin tone, show the texture of the face. And what we'll do for that is we're going to take a light source that's going to come from the proper angle. It's going to be the proper kind of hardness, softness, if you will, specularity, all those good words. And we're going to make a nice shot. So let's get started and we'll kind of go from there. Oh, what do you guys think of this? So small rig hooked me up. I have a handle now. It's cool, right? I mean, check the handle out. Thanks, small rig. I was like, hey, what's that? And they were like, put it on your thing. And it's kind of nice because you watch. You can.
Not sponsored, not sponsored.
Not sponsored at all. They didn't at all give me any money. I swear. Wink. No, no, thanks, small rig. For hand holding and stuff, for video, it's probably cool, but I just put it on here because I feel like I'm driving a ship. All right, anyways, I thought I just mentioned it. I think we should start a trend where you just like hang stuff off your camera. You know how people hang stuff off their bags? Like, that's going to be a thing I'm going to start doing. You're going to start seeing danglies. Yeah. Camera charms. Cameracharms.com. I'm getting it right now. All right, so. All right. Beauty shot. That's right. Here we are. So I'm tethered into Capture One. We're going to walk through the basics here, and we're going to go from there. I'm not going to use this because it's distracting. Okay. I'm going to use a proper remote to start with. This is the regular remote. We're going to do everything in TTL to start off with. That's through the lens metering. Whew. You guys excited? New tripod today, by the way. All right. So basically, the first thing we want to do when we're going, come a little forward. All right. First thing we want to do when we're setting up any kind of studio shot is we want to establish that we're going to be in control, right? Control is the reason why you use light. These days, where you could use the gazillion ISO, it's terrible. You know, you don't need a lot of light to shoot. But light has always been and continues to be about control. Control, shape, idea, right? So I could shoot with these lights in here, and I happen to be in a place that's well lit, but I could shoot with the light from the sun, I could shoot with whatever. But because I'm lighting it myself, I want a controlled beauty shot. I want to remove all the light from the space. And the way I can do that is pretty simply. I just have to set my camera so that when I make a shot without any flash, I have a black frame, right? So basically, we want to set our shutter speed at the maximum shutter speed within the normal range of sync. You can use high-speed sync if you need to, but I don't use that because we don't need to in this space. Someday I will do a high-speed sync demo, and then you'll understand why. But for now, I don't need it. 100 ISO. Why not use the lowest ISO in my range, normal range, right, to get the least amount of noise, but also cut the most light from the space. And then finally, I'm going to shoot at an aperture that gets all the light gone. That could be, depends on where you are, right? In here, it's usually about 5.6 to f8, so I'm going to start at 7.1. That was the maximum aperture of my first view camera. And we're going to make a shot, right? So I'm in Capture One. We're going to take a picture. And we have a black frame, right? So if we look at this here, the second step here that you want to do is you want to look at your black frame, and you want to, I'm in Capture One, so it's easy. I'm going to grab my exposure slider, and I'm going to start to slide it up until I start to see skin tone. And we're seeing a specular highlight off of her earring, but I'm not worried about that. And once we start seeing skin tone like around there, about 2-ish stops, that's basically where our shadow ends, right? That's our shadow baseline. So we know we're 2 stops underexposed. We know that if I make a shot without flash, we have a black frame. That means that everything that we see from this point on, as far as exposure on Erica, is going to be up to me. And I will take full credit, but none of the blame, right? So let's create something. So what makes something a beauty shot, right? So what's the difference between that and kind of a portrait? So beauty photography is about showing skin, right? It could be about body, which we're not going to do here, but you could be, body shots. It could be about makeup, right? It could be about facial cosmetic stuff, right? Like cleansing creams and stuff. And what we want to show there is good, clean skin tone, right? We don't want it to be mush. And we want, I know, it's going to sound strange, we want texture in the skin. We want to show the skin is real and that somebody didn't just grab a blur brush from Photoshop or Snapchat and just put it on there, right? Good beauty shots are sharp and have detail. You light them so that you don't have to do that AI retouching, right? That's what we're doing in a beauty shot. You can't do beauty photography without doing a bunch of retouching unless you have somebody who has decent skin. That's just the reality of it, right? If somebody comes to you and they don't have perfect skin, you're going to have to retouch a lot. Because normally if somebody comes to me who, let's say, has some wrinkles they don't want to show off, or maybe they have a complexion that's not perfect, I'm not going to use beauty light for them, right? Because I'll have to retouch it, right? I can light them to remove most of those things, right? To minimize the imperfections in the skin, you want big, even light that's filled in. For beauty, we want texture. So we're going to use a small-ish light source, oftentimes a small softbox or a beauty dish, right? You could use just a bare flash head. That's just not going to be, that's not going to work because it's going to be too hard, right? There is a level, right? If it's too hard, you're going to create specular highlights that are going to be unpleasant. So we're going to start there just so I could show you what I mean by that. So, when you're talking about hardness of light, just like softness of light, everything is not equal, right? So if we just take this light, this is a Flashpoint something or other, Explore 102 TTL. They started writing the names on the lights, so I know what they were. All right. And we're going to use this is, again, people who can't see it. This is like, I don't know, 1.5 inches, right? And when you're thinking about hard versus soft light, it's the size of the light relative to what you're photographing, right? So when we look at Erica's head, it's bigger than 1 inch, right? I know it's hard to see on the screen, but believe me, I'm here, So this is going to be hard, right? Even if I put it right close to her, it's going to be hard. Now, I say that because if I was shooting an ant and I put the light really close, this would be soft, right? Because if your ant is bigger than 1.5 inches, you better call the exterminator, Okay, so we're going to take this light and we're going to use something called TTL, that's through the lens metering. I'm going to use that today. You could use a handheld light meter if you like. It would do the same thing. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make this light active somehow. Mode. This is in the B group in TTL. B says manual here. Okay, why is that? There we go, TTL. Oh, hold on, off 19. Nope. Let's just take a shot and see what happens. Okay, it fired. That's a good sign. It's working. All right, perfect. Here we have a properly exposed image. Beautiful shadow on the wall. Everybody loves that. First question on the chat, how do you get rid of the shadow? We're not going to have the light here, right? This is loop lighting, by the way, if you want to name stuff. But here's the thing. When you're using such a hard light source, it is also a pretty specular source. Now, Erica has tremendously good skin. If you want to see her skincare regimen, look on her Instagram. It's pretty impressive. So, we're looking at somebody with exceptional skin, right? And we can see that our highlights are popping, right? Probably more than we want. We want to diffuse those out a little bit. Also, we're losing a lot of detail. When we look into the shadow, now I could go in and do all kinds of shadow recovery, right? But we want to do it in camera if we can. So our shadow is basically black, right? That's because the light source is so hard and far enough away that it's coming in and we're getting a dark shadow under her nose. That's not the look we're going for. if I was doing some kind of black and white aging portrait, this would be fantastic, right? Could be wonderful. For this, it's not what we want, right? Maybe it's what you want, but you're not up here, so I'm going to change it. So there's a couple things we can change. The first thing we're going to change is the position. Hey, Maury. The first thing we're going to do is change the position of the light. You know you're in New York where people are just yelling randomly. All right, so the light is in a bad position for Beauty because we're getting shadow on her face that's killing skin tone, right? We're covering skin tone under her neck. We're covering it by her nose because we're using loop lighting. Said that twice, right? Say it 3 times, and I don't know who comes, the Babadook or something. So we're going to change the position of the light to remove that. We're going to use something called butterfly lighting, or some people call it other things, but they're wrong. Hollywood or something. I don't know. I'm sure people call it other things. Anyways, this is called butterfly lighting because, you know, Jane Butterfly, who's a photographer in the 1950s, created this. No, it's called butterfly lighting because it creates a shape under the nose that kind of resembles the shape of a butterfly. And who doesn't like butterflies? Yeah. I was talking to my friend a few years ago, and I'm like, wow, you know, I put in a butterfly bush by my house, and I have all these like beautiful white butterflies. And she looked at me, she's like, those are moths. Yeah. No, but they were butterflies. Actually, a lot of butterflies are white. We do get some monarchs too, though. All right. Monarchs are usually the very colorful ones. I'm going to put a sandbag on this because, you know, sandbag police and all that. If you're booming something out on a C-stand, you want to make sure that the weight is over the big leg. So the weight obviously is this flash, so it's going to be over the big leg. All right, drop that really loudly. Apologize. Scared anybody in the audience?
That's the one with tools.
It's got tools in it. Okay, that's actually a tool bag, not a sandbag.
Wait, man.
You know, we had one filled with pennies, but we can't use it anymore because pennies are very valuable now. You know, because they're not making them. They're collectible.
The rocks when we have the studio's bed.
So basically, in order to do this, you want to center the light more or less on the subject's nose. So come this way a tiny bit. Yeah, I'll move the camera. The light's too heavy for me to move. All right. It's a little high, but you could use a modeling light if you wanted to. All kinds of things here. Is this the modeling light? No. Okay, we're not going to use a modeling light. I'll just look.
They're 1%.
Oh, the modeling light is at 1%. Oh, look at that. Okay.
I feel like a lifeguard between you and me. What am I doing?
You're babysitter.
I am a babysitter.
All right.
Yeah, mom and dad.
Okay. So we had the light centered now on Erica's face. She's looking through the camera. She's beautiful, right? Oh, we can look through the camera if we want through this lens.
Picture.
There she is. She's looking good. You see lots of shadows everywhere because obviously we're seeing the ambient light too. This is the exposure the camera's giving me so I can focus, right? This is the exposure we're going to have with no flash, right? Because the black frame. So we need to flash. Oh, okay. Boy, that was out of tune. And now we have basically more of a butterfly style light, right? The light is a little bit high. How do I know that? Why do I know the light's high? Not because I look in the see the red in their eyes. How do I know it's high? Because the shadow, right? When you're looking at a shadow of something, right? When the sun is high in the sky, the shadow drops down your face. When the sun's at golden hour, it's lower in the sky, so the shadows are lower, right? So if we lower our light source, we'll kill that shadow so it won't be so under. Does that make sense? People see that? I got to go for an hour, guys. So I'm milking this. I'm sorry. No, so we're going to lower it. Obviously, the angle of the light's going to matter. If I lower it too much, right now it's pointed at her chest, right, which is not going to help us very much since that's not in the shot. You know? So I'm going to point it at her grill, as we say. So the kids call it. C stands in the shot, so I'm going to raise it just a tiny bit. Boop. There we go. Okay, now I'm at TTL. So by the way, something that's great about TTL is that, so you see that already, right? Now, obviously the shadow on her neck is still something we're going to deal with, but we can see now how much cleaner that is on her face, right? Versus this, right? You see the difference? I mean, the exposure is a little different too, but that's okay. Who needs the same exposure every time? Come on now. No, sometimes, so when you're using TTL, what will happen is it's making a choice for exposure every single frame, right? Now, why might it have exposed brighter on the second shot? Because the light is reflecting off her face in a different angle, which is going to affect how TTL operates. So, you know, it was a little bit off this time, but we can fix that. I think it's actually correct the second time. The first time was a bit dark. So I think we got a good angle, right? Let's do the most basic thing right now, right? Which we do every single time, but I have to do it because somebody here, it's their first time, right? Who's here for the first time? Right there. So you don't know what I'm about to do. All right, there you go. That's why I do it every time. I'm going to find, is this the good one? Yep.
They're all good. What are you talking about? They're all my kids. What are you doing?
These are handcrafted by Seth. You want one? I'm not allowed to use the pizza box due to a lawsuit pending by one last ex-witness.
$100 royalty every time he touches my pizza box.
So Seth is kind of what we call a high roller. So he bought these at Blick, right? And he put some, you know, spray paint on it. You can go to a dollar store and do the same thing, right? Piece of board, right? Now, you might say, well, how come you always use a piece of cardboard, Daniel? You don't use one of these pop-up reflectors and all the other stuff that they sell at Adorama? Yeah, why don't I use that? No, because I'm in a studio. I don't need to worry about that. That's just for portable, right? In a studio, piece of board is totally fine. We're going to bounce the light. Sorry, I'm going to bounce the light back in. Okay. And we're getting a little bit of fill. It's not enough. So I'm going to go silver. So Seth was right to spend the money. Actually, I think part of my problem is the angle. So we're going to do a quick adjustment. We're going to compensate here.
So basically,
This is a
that
pretty,
board's not seeing that light.
yeah.
So he has to change that angle so the board hits that board. Otherwise, it's not bouncing anything. People just put in a reflector and think magic happens.
We've seen some videos like that, right?
That is correct. Well, this is a tricky one.
Mhm.
This light is actually very low spread, which is kind of nice when you want that, but not right this second.
For us.
But not when
It's a Fresnel lens.
yeah, it's got a Fresnel lens on the front. I told you I haven't used these lights before. All right. I'm going to use a silver. We may have to do something. I'm going to do a little trick here if need be. One step at a time, though. This is not meant to be the good shot, so we're not worried about it. Okay, so we got a little fill. It's not very good, right? But, you know, we're getting there.
It's there. Okay, you can see.
Here's the thing. It's bouncing up a little bit. It's filling a little bit. It kind of looks a little bit odd, right? But also, the main problem is the light on her is just very stark. So again, for some black and white, moody shot, awesome. For general beauty photography, no. What we need to do is one of two things, and probably both things. We need to soften the light, which means we're going to make it larger, right? We need to diffuse the light. By diffusing the light, we're going to break up those highlights and make it smoother on her skin. Also, if you put something that diffuses the light in front of the lens of the light it is, it'll spread out more, so hopefully we can grab it with our reflector. So I'm going to take randomly, because who knew that I was going to need this?
Fun.
This is all my budget right here. This is grid cloth. You may have used diffusion before in your life. This is grid cloth. So grid cloth is basically what the front of a softbox is made out of. But this is just, you know, inexpensive, and we can do whatever we want with it. I could cut it up. I could do all kinds of things. But what we're going to do is we're basically going to make this light source bigger and more diffused by putting in front of it diffusion. I know, it's crazy. What I probably could use is maybe a piece of tape. Do we have tape? Thank you. This is gaffer's tape. So we have to call a gaffer to use it, otherwise the union will get mad.
You all right? You okay?
All right. So we're going to kind of crinkle this up. There's nothing more impressive to a client than a crinkled up piece of paper in front of your light. They love that. Like, don't worry about it. It's fine, right? So every kind of diffusion diffuses in a different way. Let's just start with this. I'm in TTL, so it should compensate. Okay, yeah, that's nice. Okay, so every kind of diffusion diffuses in a different way. What grid cloth does is it actually has a grid on it, which is why it's called grid cloth. Basically lines going this way and this. When the light hits the lines, it scatters, right? So it's got a different field than, let's say, a full diffusion, which is just a piece of, tissue paper that it goes through. So this has got nice clean, and we can already see, when we look at the neck, we can already see the nice softness to the edge of it, right? So now, hopefully we're getting enough residual bounce to make this work.
Towards the shot.
Or this in the shot, yeah, okay, why not? This is my artistic vision.
That's your interpretation of non-meaning aspects.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me hold it.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
We'll slide in there. Do another one?
Yeah, there we go. That's in the shot, low, 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 low. Here we go. Yeah, we might not have enough reach with this.
See?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you weren't in
If we bring a pro in to do it,
the
now we've got
I
basically,
get paid, Dan. I don't know.
right. He's not that kind of pro, right? So here we have the hard light, but it's filled in, right? We have it a bit more diffuse so we can see your specular highlights, that is the bright spots on the person's face, are a reflection of your source, right? So by making our source larger, we're seeing smoothed out brightness, right? So we have that really attractive. If you are doing makeup, right? Like you do a lot of makeup on yourself, right? And you put that little highlight on your nose, right? And across here at the T, right? To make kind of bright, right? It adds dimension, adds space, adds that kind of dewiness, right? We capture that here, right? We're not trying to kill it. That's the thing with beauty. We're not trying to kill the texture. We're not trying to kill the highlight. We want it to be beautiful, So here we can see we have a nice clean shot, and really whatever flash you're using, this is a 100 or 200 watt second, 100 watt second flash. This could be a small speed light. It could be almost anything. We have basically a piece of diffusion in front of it. It wouldn't be as nice, but you could just use a piece of wax paper, right? All we're doing is breaking the light up and making it spread over nicely, right? What's the advantage of using an actual piece of grid cloth, right? Somebody must know this. Every piece of grid cloth is the same, right? So that means this is repeatable. When I come back next year to do the same demo because I forgot I did it, and I use this again, I know that grid cloth's gonna be the same. I can use the same grid cloth, not the same piece, but the same type of cloth. It's marked 3206 or whatever it is, and that will always be the same. That's why we use professional tools, right? So there we go. All right, nice. All right, thanks for coming. Oh no, okay, sorry. Cool. Questions, thoughts, concerns? Nada. Okay, we're cruising. That's either completely confusing or super clear, and I'm fine either way.
You got a question in the chat?
Question in the chat.
Someone's asking, what power is your flash at? Question.
So, okay, I understand why you're asking that question. What power is the flash at? And it's super common, but just understand, I will tell you what it is. What power your flash at only matters if you're all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom. In other words, you can't go any lower or you can't go any higher because I'm stuck, right? The flash is at exposure. And I think when you're learning to light, you have to start to think like that. When we would meter things, right, in studio work, we don't meter things, this is at this power of the light. We meter it at the exposure, right? So my exposure is 7.1. So that flash is on exposure with grid cloth folded in half in front of it, right? That's the exposure of the flash. The actual power of it doesn't really matter because unless you're standing exactly here trying to do the same shot, it won't really matter. But it's at, does it tell us where it's at?
You gotta put it into manual. Okay. 1/16, almost a 30-second.
Almost a 30-second of power. So we have a lot of room to move here. So I could shoot more closed down if I wanted more depth of field, right? Or, I could, I guess, turn it.
Sorry, almost an 8. I'm sorry.
Almost an 1/8. Okay, so I have room. That's like 3 stops, more light. I can go to a quarter, I can go to a half, I can go full power. Make sense? Okay. All right, let's move on. Next. I asked for all these lights. I guess I should use more than one. All right. Oh, go.
Some of the chat's asking, at what point do you know the highlights are blown or not?
Okay, so your highlights are blown when they're 255. So if you're in capture 1 like I am, you can bring this across, right? And if we're 255 across the board, then we're blown out. You might occasionally see a single color channel go up there, but as long as you're not blown out across the board, you should be fine.
He's talking about the numbers above the shot.
Oh yeah, yeah, and they can't point to both things on the screen.
Yeah, so they're over in this area, and when you do this, black is 0,
Right,
and pure white is 255, right?
right. 255 in all channels is pure white.
But also you can judge how much texture and how blown out it is. Is it distracting? Does it add? You can add
Right.
some artistic license to it a little bit.
Exactly. So if you're doing commercial work, you never want to lose detail if you can avoid it. So if you saw 255 here and you were like, I love the way this looks, but I'm hitting 255, I would dial down my exposure a smidge, shoot it like that, and then just pop it up a bit in post.
Preserve your information
Yeah.
whenever you can.
That's the whole point of shooting raw, is that we want to preserve as much information as possible. I mean, these cameras have tremendous dynamic range. So I probably wouldn't even have to do that, but to be safe, it's important. It's crazy to think of how much you can bring back shots now, but still you don't want to risk it on a commercial job. Okay, so we're gonna switch lights. So that was the one of I don't know how much things cost. They're all affordable. But that was a 100 watt second light, right? So that's a very low powered light, pretty easy to deal with. You know, it's like, in other words, I'm not shooting with 1,000 watt seconds, right? We're not shooting crazy powerful lights. This is a pretty small light. You can put it in your bag. It's smaller than my lens.
Yeah, that whole kit is backpackable.
Yeah.
Right?
And here's the thing, like, we're sitting here against a great piece of paper, and I should also point out, because I usually do and I did not.
Okay, so there's like 7 questions about what your t-shirt is. Can we just address the
Oh.
t-shirt?
My t-shirt? This is the Game Master t-shirt from Gary Con. I think this does it say a year on it? It's from Gary Con, Dungeons and Dragons convention, and being that I'm a game master.
Nice.
That's right. You can't just buy these. You got to actually be a game master. That's right. Wait till you see my belt buckle. That's a whole other thing. Okay, look at the background, right? What do we see here? When we diffuse the light, right, it's scattering, right? Because the light is scattering, it's hitting the background more, right? Because remember, this has got a Fresnel on the front, this little light. It's actually kind of punchy because of that, because it has nice Fresnel lights. A Fresnel is a type of lens on the front of the light that keeps it more focused. So because of that, in the first shot, we almost have a black background. Not quite, but almost, right? There we got a little bit more light in the background. So you're talking about a single light against a plain background. If I took Erica out where there was some space, like in the store, or if you were in a space where there was windows or whatever, we could bring up some environment too. You really only need one light to get like a beauty portrait. If you're actually doing like beauty for commercial, I would make sure you have no ambient light in the shot, though. I would do that all yourself. So let's switch to a slightly more powerful light. I think the most powerful light I have. This is the, I'm just going to move the light. It's easier than moving the stand. This is is this the most powerful light I have? I think it is. This is a 200 watt second light, the Evolve 200. This is the most popular light in the universe. If you go to Dumbo, you will see 1,000 people shooting with these lights. It is the official light of Dumbo, Brooklyn. Okay.
That is the official light of New York Comic Con. I see half you kids in this crowd right now.
That's right. So this light is cool because it has interchangeable heads. So I have the bare bulb head on it because it looks cooler, right? Like you're gonna have somebody come into your studio and it's gonna be like, what do I want it on the, look at this, look how cool this looks. I'll be like, oh, here's my light. See my light? And she's impressed, right? Right away, you already went over one about it. Yeah, it's like a gun. It's like a space gun, exactly. Like I'm Buck Rogers or some kind of thing. Yeah. So this has got what we call a bare bulb. So what bare bulb does is it projects the light in all directions, right? So all the light's coming out from the sides, not actually from the front, which is good because this is why people would walk around this on top, not this, but lights that were bare bulb on top of their camera, you know. It's a very old school wedding photographer. If you've ever been to a wedding in like the 90s, right? People would have it on top of their, not this, but this on top of their camera because the light bounces off all the walls, you know. It's like, I'm shooting bare bulb, you know. So what's nice is we get spread, right? The more light that spreads out, the more we can kind of manipulate it, right? So it's also 200 watt seconds, which is more powerful than a locomotive. So you can, you know, crank down if we want to shoot at a different f-stop or whatever. So let's just shoot with the bare bulb. and just see what it looks like. Because, you know, why not? This is in the A group. So I'm going to go back to TTL. Back to TTL. There we go. I'm going to go to my, nope. Okay, how do I get to the A, B, C thing?
What are you trying to
These
do?
things, I want to turn the A group on and B group off.
So you go here.
Okay, you got to swipe.
You gotta turn it off.
Yeah, and I want A on.
I'm not a swipey kind of guy. You want C off?
Yes, let's turn C off as well. Somebody out in the crowd probably has a C light, and we don't want them, you know, messing with our shot.
Okay.
I once saw this demo that Joe McNally did, where back when Nikon speed lights used the infrared. I guess I still do. Where he had like all the Nikon people there in the audience. They all took their speed lights out, and he shot all of them. It was pretty awesome. We're not doing that today. Yeah, I could do that, but you know, right? If you have flash points, anybody else have a flash point light with them? Oh, you didn't get the memo. All right, here we go. TTL, bare bulb, Evolve 200. Does having a more powerful light make for a better shot? Yes. So let's see.
Oh, it's the same. What happened?
So we basically have the same shot, right? Same as before, more or less, right? It's just slightly different because of the physical light is a different size. But I think if we look at the background, we've got more and more light there. And now we should have something more to bounce with. No? Yes. Okay. So that's our advantage of a bare bulb, right? Knowing your tools, right? The first thing was more of a direct light. This one is spreading light everywhere. Is it wasting light? Isn't that an album by the Foo Fighters? All right. I need a volunteer. I was in the military. That's how you let people volunteer. You hand them things. Army. Yeah. All right. So.
Wait, you're not going to clap for Arthur getting up? You guys are all sitting
All
down lazy?
All right. Who else is volunteering? All right. Oh, no, you got an actual volunteer. Wow. You haven't been around very long. Okay, make this look good. Between the two of you, figure this out. We don't have a lot of time. People are watching. Let's go. That is not right. No?
Oh, here, like this.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Like one here.
There you go. This guy's, do you want, you can take over. All right, here we go. Yeah, that should work.
Go to third.
Okay, not bad. We could tweak it a bit. See, we're getting nicer light on our face now. Let's get a little more. Come in closer. You got to come this way more. Up this way. Yeah. I think you're going to be in the shot, my friend. Unfortunately. Good. I'm going to have to move the actual physical light because I don't think Arthur's light's going to do enough. All right, we're going to move our actual strobe because I like this now. Or you know what else you can do? You can move the model. It's weird, right? They actually move. It's crazy. So if Erica steps back, because Erica knows what she's doing here. So she steps back.
You guys see how it
Let's get back in
subtly
here, guys.
raises the background, though?
There we
That's
go.
that top reflector bouncing back towards the wall.
Go. Your bottom reflector's in, so go down. Lower, lower, out. Good, perfect. Here we go. Again, I'm in TTL. So I also zoomed in a little bit because I almost, what's happening here, right? Nobody knows. Right? I mean, forget about the shadow on the wall because we moved her closer. Look at how the light's getting cleaner and cleaner, right? Because this top light is shooting up and it's hitting this board. When we first did it, the board was barely being hit by light, right? Now, there's so much more light on there. You've improved so much in just a short time. Okay, that's good enough. You guys can dismissed. So, thank you, Erica. All right, so Erica also organizes everything, which is nice because somebody has to be organized. I'm certainly not. But we see what we did here, right? We've got a light that's bouncing in every direction, and we're controlling it, right? We're bouncing it from multiple angles, above and below, to give us what is effectively a clamshell light, right? Is it perfect? If we had, you know, perfect soft boxes in alignment, or took more time, could we do it better? Of course, right? But you get the idea. But I think with this kind of light, what we kind of want to do is modify it with a more true modifier, like an umbrella.
You want to shoot through?
Yeah, let's start with a shoot-through umbrella. So this is, and you're allowed to open umbrellas inside when you're a photographer. This is a translucent umbrella, also often called a shoot-through umbrella, because normally when you have an umbrella, right, if you guys were my subject, right, I'd put the umbrella like this, right? You know, if it was raining, I'd go like this. But if you guys, but a shoot-through umbrella, you point like this. This is translucent, right? What did we learn with the cloth earlier? What does the translucent do? It's diffusing it, right? Also, this is going to make it larger, right? So we're going to be softer. This umbrella is like $10. Okay, good. I didn't want to say that.
That's $10.
It's like $10. Yeah. These are like $10. So yeah, like $10. Yeah, first two. When I was first starting out, I shot almost entirely with diffusion umbrellas because they were like $5 back then. So, you know.
I don't know if this is a real question up, but someone's asking, do strong flashes permanently affect the model's vision?
No.
Erica, do you want to weigh in on this?
No.
She says no.
I mean, don't look. I mean, it's like looking into the sun. I mean, if you shoot outside, oftentimes a photographer will like look down for a few seconds, look up, and they shoot, right? But like, no, this is no.
Also,
Fine.
I'd say professional models or anyone that knows will turn their face towards the light, roll their eye away from the light. So you're
Right.
not looking directly at a strobe.
Right. I think that's another thing there, right? Is you're not going to look right at the flash, usually.
Yeah.
The flash is usually a ring flash is where you need to be careful.
Yeah.
If you're using a true ring flash, not the one you're all excited about, a ring flash because you heard it was good for beauty and you buy the little macro one that's this big, don't buy that unless you're doing macro. A proper ring flash that's 1200 watt seconds, right? Yeah, you always tell the model, look at the lens, don't look at the flash. Because if they look at that ring flash, it will give them circles in their eyes. But yeah, usually people aren't looking directly at the flash.
So
Okay.
all you weirdos in the back can take seats, by the way. There's plenty of seats. You guys can come hang out.
Also, non-weird people.
Only weird people. Listen to this guy. You need
I
a
can come
tolerance
forward
level.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Honestly, this is the entire demo here, and I was just like spending time to get to this point. So this is the important part. If you're taking notes, this stuff. No. So here's an umbrella, right? Umbrellas are great tools for beauty photography because they are generally large. They throw the light everywhere, right? And this diffusion is just going to be spectacular. Because this light shoots in all directions, we are going to lose a little bit at the top. I don't think this comes with a reflector. They don't have a reflector, right? Okay. Some of these have the ability to have a reflector. We don't need that. Nobody needs that, right? I'm going to move this back a little bit. All right. Actually, step back 1 second. I'm just going to bring this down. I'm going to tilt it a little more. We're going to do a little bit more of an overhead because we can. It's bigger, right? And bring it up. And we're basically creating, yeah, effectively a wall of light. Zoom back a little bit. I had my lens set really long at 75, so I'm going to come back to, about 65. Don't trust those people that tell you to shoot over that. Okay, again, we're in TTL. We have a new light setup. We've got an umbrella. It's shoot through. It's $10. And we're going to shoot. Boom. Okay. Okay. Look at how all that extra diffusion, it's a little high, right? Because it's higher, we're getting a little bit of shadow under her eyes, right? So we'll adjust that. But look at how soft. That's why I did that, so you guys could see. Look at how soft the shadow is under her chin. Because this light, compared to the size of Erica's head, is huge, right? I mean, it's a big light. And look at the background. The background's almost the correct color because of how big everything is, right? We're getting a lot out of this very simple modifier. But it's easy to take a large modifier and be like, it's just going to look good, right? But what we're ending up here, so you got two options. We could have her bring her chin up a little bit, right? That would help with that texture there. Or we could bring the light back and flat it. Let's try to bring her chin up first because, less work for me. It's also a little colder, right? Any modifier you put in front of the light becomes the light, right? So we can see, that's why if you ever look in magazines at beauty shots, right, you're always looking up people's nose, right? That's because a lot of times they're using beauty dishes, which are small, right? And we don't really have to do this, but you see, also, it makes her look a little bit snobbier, which works for beauty. It's like, I'm looking down at you, right? And now we have this beautiful sweeping light with this $10 modifier. Now, to be fair, as Seth said, it cooled off a little bit, right? If you're using different modifiers for shots within the same job, make sure you're doing color check charts throughout things so you can always have consistent color, right? because that is the one thing about changing up your modifiers. They can and often will change the color of the light. Except Seth's bounce board, which is perfect, by the way. That is clean. Okay, questions about the umbrella. That was the easy one, right? I think we can make this better.
Would using a softbox of the same size give roughly the same exact?
Okay, so would using a softbox give roughly the same look? Yeah, if your source is the same size, whether it be a softbox or an umbrella, it's going to give you the same kind of softness, right? What you get with the softbox usually is the ability to shape the light, right? You have edges that you can control better. You could put a grid on it. You could change the amount of diffusion, right? What you get with an umbrella is the ability to, if I want to, slide the umbrella closer or further away to create a slightly different pattern. And we can do what I'm going to do now, which is bounce into an umbrella. I just want to show what the difference is between bouncing into an umbrella, diffusing an umbrella, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely do it. Softboxes tend to be more expensive. That's why I wasn't going that direction. That's for the expensive beauty light, which is next week. I'm going all parabolics all the time. Okay. All right, so if we want to bounce into the umbrella, we could either have Erica go on the roof and hang upside down, or we could change the position of the umbrella. I think that's probably the better way to go. Because while she is skilled at that, we don't have the camera angles to cover it. Nothing like crunching an umbrella into your microphone. So I've definitely done this long enough to know that Seth would yell at me. I really don't care if you guys hear it or not, but yeah, with shells. All right, this here, this one's not $10, sorry. Oh, that was satisfying. That's a beautiful umbrella. This is a glow umbrella. It's like the other one. Easy lock deep. Okay, so what's deep going to do for us? With our bare bulb, it's going to catch more of it, right? So we don't lose as much light, right? This is also silver. Silver is specular, right? Silver is going to make our highlights pop. Also, this one, if it was raining, would work better. Okay. If you want to do the same shot people have done for 1,000 years, take a speed light, put it up there, have somebody stand outside, you're done. Okay, we're not going to do that shot.
Shade, huh, there?
I'm throwing shade.
Everybody's really punny today.
Yeah. Oh,
He
I don't
didn't get a
think he
cookie
meant that.
today. He didn't get his cookie today, so he's
I didn't get my,
yeah.
no cookie today.
You got a bun cake. You
I
upgraded.
got a free bun cake.
You upgraded.
All right.
This is also dappled silver, not smooth
Yeah, you
silver.
can get mirror silver as well, which would have been interesting with the source actually, but we don't have mirror silver. It's definitely going to be on the shot. Yeah. Yeah. It's good when your model tells you that. Because I shoot a lot with a Leica, and you're not looking through the lens. And I have literally done shots where I'm shooting away, and then I look at the back of the camera, and I'm like, my light's in the shot. Why didn't you say anything? And the model's like, well, I thought you knew. I mean, so yes, Erica knows that that I don't know. She knows that well enough. Yeah.
It's better than when you left your thumb in front of the lens that whole time, though.
Yes. Yeah. This is why I have to stand away from that. Okay, so this is silver, TTL, a little bit lower, punchier, further away. Here we go. Okay. Crispy, right? This is real fresh, right? If Erica was like splashing water on her face or something, right? We get that crispness of the silver umbrella, right? It is a little bit harder because it's smaller, partially because it's actually smaller, but also partially because it's further away, right? But it's still very large compared to Erica's head, so we have a soft light source, right? Here we have, and again, don't worry about the color too much because, let me see if I can make this one match that one a little better. Watch me do awesome color stuff. Nope, wrong way.
Wrong one.
Nope, wrong one. Or I won't do that. I could just not do that. All right, so we'll leave it. Okay. Which one do you like? The warmer one?
I like the warmer one.
All right, we're going to go with the warmer one because that's what Erica likes. Okay.
Magazine.
Let's do it.
Yeah. You know, warm is advertising, right? And commercial, yeah. That was something I was taught when I was a photo assistant. Always put a warming filter on your lens. Warm is advertising. All right. People want to be warm, I guess. All right.
So there's a question in the chat about do different modifiers affect skin tone? Clearly they do.
Yep.
Do you get what you do to get accurate skin tone?
Okay, so to get the right color or skin tone, you can use a color chart, right? Like something like a X-Rite color checker. You hold it up, you photograph it, you set your custom white balance. That's basically how you want to do it. Do we have one? Oh, look at that. Yeah, perfect. Here we go. I'm not gonna take it out of the plastic because then Seth will charge me for it.
Take this one.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
This is even
This
better.
is out of the $3 bins, guys.
There you go, $3. All right. You photograph this, right? Like a mugshot. Boop. And then you use this to set your white balance, right? If you do that and you do it between every time you change modifier, every time you change your exposure, every time you change the position of the light, every time the model changes their clothes, you'll have a good color. Basically, we would do them every time on like a catalog shoot for each outfit, you know, just to make sure that, because you always change your light slightly for the outfit because the, you know, if they're wearing white, you might have to make an adjustment, put some black cards and stuff. Okay, does that make sense? Any other questions? Yes.
If the umbrella, if the bulb was tucked more into the umbrella, maybe it wouldn't spill out the side so much or less.
That's correct. That is correct. So if the bulb was tucked more inside the umbrella, would it? Now, of course, he didn't ask this as a question. So if this was Jeopardy, you would have failed right there, but it's okay. So we're losing some light, right? Because it's where it is, right? You can change the position of this. By the way, this is like advanced lighting now. So get ready. Watch this. Huh?
Yeah, nice job, Dave.
Huh? Huh? That's like 2 modifiers right there.
God, you are.
Here we go. When we do that, we get a slightly different look, right? A little punchier, right? Look at the background's changed a bit, right? Uh-huh. More contrast. That's exactly correct because there's not as much light banging around, right? Also, the light source itself is a tiny bit smaller because now I'm just covering the center of the umbrella instead of the whole umbrella, which comes down to the question about what's the difference between a softbox and umbrella. You know, your softbox, when you latch the light on the back, you're there, right? You can change the diffusion, but you can't change the position. That's what like true parabolics will do that. You can move the light in and out. True parabolics, like original rays. All right. But for one final thing, I think. Yeah, one final thing. It probably won't be the final thing. You know what? I was going to do something, but I don't know if you guys deserve it. I was going to use that little light, but no, I want to do this first. Why not use both?
Oh.
Right? What if I'm going to need something to clip it or possibly a volunteer. What if we did this?
Oh, it's not going to reach.
It's not, maybe with a clothespin on the inside? Thank you. Oh, we got another one here.
Of course.
Seth has these binder clips around for when he does the SATs.
I am because I know exactly what you're going to get into.
Mm-hmm. So, any questions while Seth does that and I drink my coffee?
Yeah.
Did I mention this was like a cinnamon vanilla? Oh, done. Okay.
Some of us work around here, Dan.
Okay. This is beautiful. And you can find this on my website, www. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Way in the shot.
Yeah.
It's in the shot a little bit. Okay. All right. Yeah. Just a little bit. All right. Okay.
Also, you lost a bunch of light, huh?
Well, I think maybe the TTL grabbed the inside of the umbrella. Okay. With that expert move, it's now not in the shot. All right. Now, pretend like it's better because it doesn't really matter. We have the best of both worlds, right? We've got this beautiful diffusion umbrella, but we've also got a little bit of punch from the silver, and we didn't lose a bunch of light, right? So if we're trying to save our light, this is going to help us, right? We're not losing as much through the back of the umbrella. Ideally, you'd have them tight, but you know, we didn't plan this because,
Why would
oh yeah, they're definitely different. They're totally different. All right, good. I knew they would be. I knew it was going to be different. Yeah, so now we have something that's combined, right? This is closer to a softbox, right? It's basically keeping the light combined inside, but we have a little bit of movement where we can kind of adjust it, right? In theory, I did this once before, but I used two umbrella adapters so I could actually move them. And you could set kind of your contrast with it a little bit, which is kind of nice. So you could experiment with this, get yourself a silver umbrella, diffusive umbrella, and kind of create your own beauty light, right? Your own kind of unique beauty light from this. Questions about that? Thoughts? Oh, yeah, let's put a bounce in. No extra charge for this. All right. I think we'll use silver because why not? Silver's going to add a little specularity, make it a little punchy, and then we'll try white as well and see what we like. It's always worth trying things when we're here, right? Later, you can be wondering, there's our silver, right? Might be a little much. There's our white, right?
Yeah, nice.
Which is nicer, right? So sometimes silver can work. Sometimes white is better.
Now get a shot for the thumbnail or something.
Get a thought for the thumbnail? Yeah. All right, we'll get a shot for the thumbnail. All right, here we go. Thumbnail shot.
Oh, thumbnail.
Okay. Stand by. Here we go. Thumbnail. Boom. Yeah, that's it. Play some music. Don't you got YouTube music that everybody uses?
Work it.
Oh yeah, nobody.
Work it.
Oh, cheap beauty stuff. Yeah, no,
Oh,
inexpensive,
so fierce.
affordable.
Oh.
Right. So we're shooting. We're taking pictures. We're doing our thing. You know, I'm over here talking to you guys while I'm shooting. Okay, so we took some pictures. It worked. That's perfect. No, that's a beauty shot. We're showing the inside of the makeup. Come on. Isn't it a blink?
The eyeshadow, that's fun.
Okay. Questions, thoughts, concerns? Oh, I feel like there was a concern. That looks pretty darn good to me. You know, here we are using, we could have used a $100 light, 100 watt second watt light as well, which we did not, because we're barely using, let's see, how do we do the power again? We press this. I want to know the power.
Watch. Stop touching. Okay. You're 1/3 under right now.
Okay, so we're just under half power. So that puts us, it would have been full power with a 100 watt second light, right? So we could have pulled it off with that 100 watt second light. So you don't need a lot of power to create really clean beauty shots, right? We have one light here. This is one light. I could have called this single light. I could have called this small space. I could have called this using an umbrella. You'll see all those demos coming up soon. All right, easy enough. Any other questions?
So they're asking about the color checker again. You're pretty much just taking a picture of the color checker to have a consistent dialed in neutral gray
Do you mind if I
to
pull it
bounce
up?
off of. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it. Just
Yeah. Also, these do expire. They fade,
Yeah.
you know, or they shift in color as they age. So this was out of the $3 bin. We're just going
yeah.
for it.
We're gonna raise up a little bit. We're gonna not worry about the fact that I don't have the reflector in there because you want the reflector in there if you're gonna do this. You want everything that you would have. So once you have a photo of this, you can either do it on the spot like this. You find the neutral gray. Oh, gotta click. Over here, I'm clicking on it. I'm in capture one. So we do that. You know, there's multiple grays, so you got to kind of feel it out. Erica likes it a little warm, so I think we'll go there. Okay, so we're going to be there. And then because I'm in capture one, and I'm set this way, I always say because I'm in capture one, but I have it set this way, it will keep those settings, right? So now, if we shoot another one, we're going to have that same color, right? And then you'll have consistent, well, you'll also be brighter for some reason. Oh, because I went to manual and I took the, yeah, okay, good.
Go back.
Right, and we'll have consistent color. Well, now we won't because of the exposure. You understand how it works. Pretend like that all worked. We'll fix it in post with AI.
Oh, sorry.
I think because the reflector's on in there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we have that warmer color, right? That matches. So you'll get that consistency of the color, right? She's a little darker, the other one, because she's further back, but you can see the colors the same. Other questions?
So we reached the point now where the forehead like highlight is very well controlled. I'm curious which part of this setup specifically kind of dialed that back.
Okay, so the highlight you're saying is well controlled, right? The forehead. I mean, I liked it before, but okay, you're judging me. I'm being judged.
I just struggle with this.
No. So yes, if you have a shiny thing in your shot, whether it be on a product, on somebody's forehead, whatever, diffusion is the key. When you diffuse something, it lowers the specular highlight, which is the reflection, right? You can make the reflection larger, which usually makes it more acceptable by using a larger light source. So it's in combination, it's both things. This is a large light source, right? Very diffused, and that's why it's breaking the highlight up. Yeah, that's why.
So you got a question. How would using a Fresnel head rather than the bare bulb affect the image in the umbrella?
So if you were using a Fresnel head in the umbrella, I would have to slide the umbrella further back to cover the entirety of the umbrella, or as much of the umbrella as I'm covering here. So you just have to think about that. You can turn your modeling light on if you have one. If you don't have a modeling light, you can just kind of, don't look right at it, but kind of stand to the side and fire it a couple times to see if it comes out. Maybe put your hand next to it, right? Keeping it inside. With the Fresnel, you want to slide it until you see a little bit coming out and then slide it back.
Essentially, it's coverage. The bare bulb's spreading everywhere. You want to move that Fresnel back till it covers the whole umbrella, unless you're not using the whole umbrella, so it's a smaller light.
Right. Smaller light means it's going to be harder, but then it's still hitting this diffusion. It will be different, but that's basically how you would do it. Other thoughts or concerns or questions? I want to try one quick thing. We have time for a quick thing, right? I like the idea of using the umbrella, but I also thought to myself, we could also put a piece of diffusion in front of this, right? It's not going to cover the whole umbrella, but let's just see what the difference will be if we just diffuse part of it. I'll need Seth to fix that again because I can't reach it.
What do you need?
To take the umbrella out of there, however you did it, with your skills. Thank you. Because I would have went like this and broke the umbrella, and then yeah, I just pay $10, and I don't make that much. I walk home losing money on this. All right, here we go. This is not going to cover the whole thing, so we're going to get a half diffuse, right? I think we'll diffuse the bottom part of it, right? Yeah, yeah. We'll need like a couple of. Do you have a cute?
What are you trying to do? You want to get a half on the bottom?
Yeah. Well, yeah, as much as possible.
Get another clip.
Yeah. Got it.
It's going to spin because of the weight.
Yeah. All right. We're spinning. This is basically, we eat lobster. We're going to call this the bib. If this looks good,
Give me one more clip.
I'm copywriting it. So I'm trying to steal it. You'll see me at every trade show selling this thing. Photo bib. Do you think that's a good name? Okay. Yeah. We got this.
Smart. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good enough, right?
Yeah. This is the first time prototype. So we're breaking it up a little bit. We got a little bit of silver. We got a little bit of diffusion. This is flat. We're not shooting through the diffusion though. Okay. We're in TTL. Dialed up a third of a stop for some reason. Which I'm going to turn down. There we go. All right, here we go. Oh, this is the black frame. We do this at the beginning. Oh, okay. It's a little dark. That's why I wouldn't turn it up a third. Okay. Yeah. If your TTL is a little bit too dark. Oh, hold on. What did I do now? Okay. Oh, here we go. I can press plus there. All right. Here we go.
That's good.
All right. Here we go. Oh, well, I was going to make a whole comment about it. That's kind of clean. The color's a little warm because Erica likes it. There it is.
This is what the camera you
That's what the camera is set at. That's warm. Again, we have all the control in the world. We're shooting raw, right? You do half and half. Anything you like. You could do anything. The world is your oyster. I was going to do something else. That was it. I'm done.
Yeah, tools like this are really good so you can develop what you're looking at. Otherwise, you could shoot a whole thing yellow and orange and think, yeah. But if you can see what it could have been and then maybe find a midpoint if you like it. But
right,
this is what these tools really are about, is so you grow that ability to notice it.
Exactly, because you will get used to it. If you were shooting the whole time like this, like you'll just think that's neutral. And it's fine, it's warm and we like that, right? That's what we're going for here. But if you then turn that into the cosmetic company, it doesn't match, right? They're gonna be a little bit like, oh. So, you know, this is actually too blue. We'd have to do a correct color thing that didn't come out of the $3 bin. Okay, but you know, I'm not throwing shade at the $3 thing, but you know, hey, Because they do actually over time fade, that like Seth said. So that's important. If you're doing a color checker and you're on a commercial job, they're not cheap, but buy one for the job, right? You can even get a gray one. You don't have to get all the colors.
You can also get like one that is enclosed, like a passport version.
Right,
So it
those
stays away
last.
from any light on it to keep it from fading.
Yeah.
And it's scratch proof.
And those are pretty cool because with the passport, if you use Lightroom, you can actually program it all in and get it all cool. Yeah, it's pretty nice. So, all right, questions? Okay, cool. We got a great week coming up next week. I'm turning to host mode. You like that? I'm doing Seth. Actually, we already miss it. It's the end of the week. Next week, Monday, Seth is here. You can see that on the.
I'm not.
Seth's not here on Monday.
I'm not here Monday because I'm doing a formal demo Wednesday.
No, that's right. Wednesday
God,
on the main
the worst
channel.
hype man on the planet.
On the main channel Wednesday, and all you people that are here right
It's
now.
not on the main channel.
No, I'm going to talk with creators.
Oh.
Coffee with Creators, the premier podcast of New York City stores. 100th episode. Seth does a great job doing it. I'm taking over for one day. It's going to be awesome. I have a great guest. He's kind of new to photography. Seth, he's not new. We're gonna talk all things Seth. So come by. It's going to be awesome. You can come live in the store if you want, or watch online. That's going to be the main channel, 11 o'clock Wednesday. Come by. There will be coffee that I'll be drinking. If you want to bring your own, feel free. That night on this channel here,
Oh my God, you're the worst.
there, nope, other way, there.
Come on.
He's moving it on me. Events channel. Seth's going to do a demo. It's going to be awesome. He's going to talk about light
Oh my God.
and shadow
Just stop.
and
Next
motion.
Next week on the events channel, JC Carey from Westcott will be here with
Oh,
the
yeah,
new
Westcott as well.
FJ100 for you guys to check that out. I'm doing a character lighting demo, atmosphere, narrative, cinematic feel, grimier. Yes, we like pretty girls, but there's also the other type of shooting. And there's something always going on that. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 p.m. on that channel, there's something going live out of here. If you can't make it in these seats, you can jump in that chat. If you can't jump in the chat, you can watch it later. We're at 155,000 subscribers, thanks to you guys. And I can't thank you enough because I'm killing myself on that channel. And you're
Yes.
Jack at the end of the month, right?
I'll be back at the end of the month. So when we're going to do, well, yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. It's good. Portraits in motion. I have to compete with Seth's names. He's like cinematic, feeling, light.
Yeah, character lighting, unbelievable. My verbiage is just unmatched.
He's out there using a thesaurus.
You're the editor of the blog. You're literally the grammar guy. Shut up. You know.
All right. Either way, follow Erica Lynn NYC. Right? Seth is last ex-witness. The X is silent. Joe is Joe.
This is Joe's first ever time on the Switcher.
Follow
Thank you, Joe.
I'm Daniel Norton. He did a great job, I hope. Not too much on the top of my head. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Hit by.
Thank you.